So this was going to be a change your headlights video, but I already did it. So as you can see, I already switched them out. They used to be these are still glass, but they were very yellow, very dim. It was just time to go, time to update. So I also got the cheap little headlight bulbs that came with them. What are they? The H4 bulbs. And everybody, even out of the box, said that they were just absolutely horrible. So I updated them with a nice set of Phillips. I mean, the angle's really off right now. But I put a new set of Phillips in there, nice and bright, looking good. But after a couple minutes of running, they just start to flicker and then they shut off. Problem is the headlight power goes from the battery to the headlight to the switch and back to the headlight. Or headlight or battery, switch, headlight, you know, that kind of deal. It's just too much voltage going through for these headlights to work properly. They overheat, they overload the switch, and they go kaput. So how do we fix that? We fix that with these relays. Big power wires go from the battery to the relay to the device, and the switch goes from the switch to the relay. So the switch will open up that circuit and not run all that voltage through the switch itself. You could build that yourself. There's some maps out there. I didn't really want to do that. I spent the money and I got this. I got a kit. Does it for me, does all the wiring for me. All I have to do is start making these connections, and that's what we're going to do here today, is just install the relay kit and make sure that they work. Plus, the adjustment screws that came out on the top, I think they're broken again. I do have some new adjustment screws because they just don't go in anymore. It wasn't the greatest design when they built those, but they work. Well, it doesn't help at all. So the relay kit uses the headlight connection itself right here. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it. The great news is it only uses one. It goes from one side over to the other, and the battery. It's a pretty simple connection. I still need to pull those headlights just so I can get those adjustment screws in there. And I did have to modify these headlights. I'll show you how. On this particular flavor of Chevy, they used T15 Torx bolts to hold in the bezel. Pop off the blinker bulb. And drop 2 screws. At least 2. That's what the factory calls for. It looks like plastic, but it actually isn't. So by drawing this in, it should tilt the headlight. As you can see, it's not doing that. So let's go ahead and pop the cover off. Oh yeah. This headlight install also did come with a little dummy light way back there, driving light if you want to call it that. I haven't bothered to hook them up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. What I did need to do for the bucket though was I had to make this hole back here bigger. The factory hole, that big back on the back of the headlight, was a lot bigger than the standard headlight. So all it does is fits in these little grooves right there. Excuse me. So I'm just popping it right back out. I do have one spring down here. There we go. So like I said, I did have to make the back of the bucket a little bit bigger. I just took a death wheel to it. Wasn't the right tool for the job, so obviously that's the one I used. Yeah, the little socket's just a little worn out. I mean, if I could push it through, then that's a bad thing. No worries, I did buy new ones. The set I got from Amazon broke immediately. I'm sorry, that I got from the local auto store broke immediately. So this is the set from Amazon. Feed this in through the back. There we go. Clicks into place. And while we're here, might as well go ahead and replace the one that broke. And feed it in through the back. Yeah, the set I got from, I think it was, it doesn't even matter, I think they were a Dorman set. They were just so brittle. You just have to get it to go over. There we go. So it won't push back through. Hey, that's good news. One problem solved. And no sooner do I get it all starting to work, wait till night to go out and adjust them. And they're pointed down. I can't get them back up. The headlights are cutting off. It was a fun drive home. That's back together. Now the rings would be nice if I could. I should have replaced these. They're just getting old. I mean, this little piece right here, a little tiny tack weld, it finally gave loose. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave that off. Maybe I'll look at replacing the ring later on. You know, they are top and bottom. You know, it'll fit this way, doesn't matter. However, fitting it on the bucket, which is this is the bottom, it will only fit one way. It will not fit that way properly. So just be aware. A little bit more of a pain when you're holding 6 things at once. I don't know what the right way is to do this, but I think the hardest part is really making sure that these are in their little grooves. This screw has to fit into that little notch. There and there. So that way it sits on both sides. I wasn't even in the right spot. There we go. I do find it easier to bring the screws out or in. And the ears on this one are a little bit wonky. So let's straighten those up just a little bit. There we go. Now both sides are in. The hard part, or the remaining part, is this spring. It's clipped in the back. It needs to come up and sit right on there. Yeah, not much holds it in. So right now it's just really cattywampus. But it's bringing it up. Brought it up and it tilted it out. So it's gonna work for me. Well, not for nothing, it did work last time too. So that's the easy part of the job. You only get mildly dirty. I'm going to put this back in. Because I don't want to drop this and bust the headlight wide open. There we go. Even though I only have 3 screws now, it'll do its job and hold it square. All it needs to do is hold it flush against the bucket. Not even that tight. I will hang on to these. They're collector's items at this point. One of the things that's on my Wish shopping list, Wish.com, they have a set of those, I don't know what they're really called, but they're the clips that go between the metal that these kind of screws bite into. Like a pack of 60 for like $4. So I gotta get those because all the time busting them, losing them. They get all rusted out and gnarly. Hell, this is a 1980. It's about to be 42 years old. How many of you can say that? Alright, there we go. It is starting to show its sign of age here and there. Come on, one more. There. You know what is funny is that both sides, same problem occurred on both sides, where I just couldn't get the headlight to go up. I can get it to go in and out, just couldn't get the damn thing to go up. Curious, huh? Pop out that bulb. And look, there's only dropped one this time. I'm getting better at this. I mean, I don't know if you saw it on the background, but nothing's changed with Edgar. Not entirely true. I mean, I do have a lot more parts now. And I've already lost one screw, one of those ears, on this one. So actually, let me see if I can reach through here. I'll just do it this way, that's fine. The battery is right behind this. Yeah, just like what happened with the other ring, I've already lost an ear on this one. Yeah, let's set that across the negative and the positive. There we go. The one that fell, that's that new one, cough cough, from AutoZone or Advance. The ear broke off immediately on this one too. But this is the one that failed. It would not pull back in. So this has got a busted ear on it too. Same concept. Push that through. Lock it in place. Yeah, these are a little bit softer than the ones I got at a local store. Softer in the sense of, you know, the plastic doesn't feel so brittle, which is good. Jake, get back here. I have to switch sides here. Well, son of a bitch. Hi, Jake. That's two down. Good thing it doesn't break. Where are you going, Jake? He's not supposed to be walking around like that. He's an old timer. Besides, the HOA will probably have a kitten. There we go. There's the pro tip. Don't bite it from here. Bite it from near the back. So, on the next one, oh, let me get the dog. I hear a car. So by the way, here we are in the end of December. and I'm outside in just a sweatshirt, I could probably, some guys are out here probably in just a t-shirt. Not me. I'm a wuss. Yeah, this is old. We can get rid of that now. But even with that, you know, you only get so many hours of daylight. And this is, if you want to say it, kind of like my lunch hour. Not really enough time to do any significant work. On Edgar. There just isn't enough time during the day. Okay, I'm not going to install this one yet just because the battery is right here. I'm going to do my relay setup first and then we'll see where we go. Just do a quick unboxing, see what we're looking at here. Got a bracket with some zip ties. Relay number 1. It's a 4-pin, 30 amp. There's a self-tapping screw in that guy's future. And this one too, same thing. 4-pin, 30 amp. That's the issue. I mean, 30 amps. It's way more than a headlight switch is built to maintain. Hi there, Joe. Good boy. And this is the reason I didn't do it myself. I mean, look, it wasn't super cheap. And I hate spending money, but it was put together quite nicely. Well done. So I think what I'm going to do, I say, okay, well, here's my fusible links that'll go to the battery. This side will get plugged in. This side gets plugged into the relays, so the relays will be about here. And this side just goes directly to the headlight, but not to the headlight plug. By the way, Mark, if you're watching, you still owe me a flashlight. You squished my flashlight. I'm going to save these from being lost by actually removing them for now. I don't really know what that's for. Oh, this bracket is so you do that and plug them both in. Attach the bracket to the firewall. That'll work. I like that. Okay, but we can set this to the side for now. It's on the inner fender. I'll be right back. Take off the battery. Well, we are going to need these fusible links connected to the battery, right? There's a ground off each one of the headlight connections. This goes to these goes to the relay. This goes to, this goes to the headlight because it's got the ground that you have to make. You have to make a new ground. Verify that by this right here. Your high, low, and a ground right to the body. And I need to connect these directly to a battery source or a 12-volt source. So I'm going to pull a battery post. I really need to take advantage of this dual post battery. Let me see if I have a, leave my battery connection alone since I got a top and a side post. Let me see if I got a connection. And I do, and it's almost perfectly suited for the job at hand. It's meant to eat eyelets, that's all. I'll grab a flat washer, open this up. Oh, I don't even need to open it up. It just takes a 3/8. No, ½ inch, okay. Let me grab a flat washer. Well, that will be a good connection, right? Although we did just drop this spring for our bucket. Don't lose that. I don't have a cluttered side post, because this truck is a side post. There we go. Our next step will be to connect our single headlight over here . This actually connects to the headlight assembly itself. Need to give it some. This part actually connects to the socket. So I'm going to run both of those. A little tangle there, that's okay. So here's our old socket. Had to be clipped up a little bit just to fit through the cup on the back of that new headlight. But I've already got some, what the hell is that stuff called? Dielectric on it. Make my headlight connection. And I can push that back through, that's done. This actually connects to the headlight. Now I need to make a good ground. So it doesn't need to go very far, it just needs to be a good clean one. So I'm just going to use a single self-tapper. I do want another flat washer though. Because this is a gremlin I don't want to chase, I'm going to clean that whole area, wherever I decide to put it. Let's see. There's some really good structure right below it, bumpers and all sorts of other stuff. So I'm going to find a little spot like right in. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Now I know for the most part the self-tapper will Give me all the connection I need, right? Just don't want to bank on it. Nope, nope. Run this behind the bucket. I get this at Lowe's. I think it's $1 or $2 a can, but it's perfect for that. I mean, I just exposed bare metal, and now it's protected. Meanwhile, I do have a good ground behind it. There we go. Next, let's find a good home for these guys. So, as we look here, I have to leave a little bit of slack for my headlight, just to make my life easier. This goes to my fusible link there. I don't know why that came out, but that belongs in that hole. Let's go right by or below it. Well, we're going to need another self-tapper. Not so worried about a ground here, though. So much so, I'm going to go with a different... Okay, here we go, the smaller one. There was a little bracket up there. It is. See, I lost it already. So in essence, what we're doing is we're sending 12 volts directly from the battery to these relays. And the relays are going to open and close according to the switch. That's going to make life a lot better for me. There we go. Need a battery. Bought this drill like 5 years ago, and the first battery only lasted like, came with 2 batteries, but first one lasted like 3 months and it was dead. So I have another battery for it, second or a spare if you will, which I'm using now, but I'm still on that first battery as well. There we go. I didn't really test fit it before, but I don't know if it was too smart, you know, having it any closer to the radiator cap. both of these, doesn't matter which, like, look here, it doesn't really matter. One's going to go to one, one's going to go to the other. It doesn't matter. So it's not like there is a right and a left, a right and a left. It's just a relay and a socket. Oh, what I should do though is a little dielectric on these. And I left that in the truck. And right down in there. Eat it up. A little lubrication helps it slide in too. There we go. So this side is basically done. Aside from routing the wires, I got to run a self-tapper on this side too. That's what these tiny little zip ties are for. And same deal, I probably don't need to. The self-tapping screw will provide it generally a nice enough, strong enough ground. If it doesn't, then you're chasing gremlins and you're like, oh, random things. I don't want that. So at least this way I know. Right, Jake? He agrees. He doesn't care, actually. He could give two big craps. And that's what he usually does every day. Where'd you put the paint? And the final step, here's the old factory plug. We're just going to tuck that to the side because we don't use it anymore. Here's the new plug. Already some dielectric on the old, or on the bulb. One thing I do wish is that these were covered somehow. They're not. I have to get creative with some tape or something else. But those plugs are wide open. Tighten that up just a little bit more. Clean that line going all the way across. So this is our smoke test right here. Didn't hear anything go boom. And even though that's not plugged in, this should light up. Let me know if it does. Winner, winner, chicken. You know what? It's even brighter now than when we started this little project. So there we go, folks. I'll put it back together. And then later on tonight, I'll run out and get them all lined up. But, yay. We had a runaway. Say hi, Jake. Hello. You're back in jail. There you go. You know, it's weird. This is kind of both left and right side. She's got a cutout for adjusters on both left and right, spring left and right. But you only use this, this, and this. Took our spring first. Great, this is new. I don't want to bend that. Why does this happen? Next flavor is Ultra Screw Loose. Oh, wow. Should have done that years ago. There you go, folks. Yeah, looks way gooder. Good job. Well done.